we have our base in the Oasis here, next to the dragonfly, next to the muck tusks, next to a reed trap, or formerly a reed trap. We put the bees right next to the reed trap because we could easily make honey poultice that way. And so that's kind of the start of the base, just outside there. And then we come into the main part of the base with our farms, our grass farm, our twig farm, our flower farm, our mushroom farm, our plant farm. Wormwoods can also plant stuff just up there. Then we've got our crafting machines here with mush lights, the kitchen area, and other decorative things around here. Our marble farm, which we don't have much marble down now because we managed to farm like a just full, so we don't really need much more. We have a twiggy tree farm over here. Then we have our drying racks here, storage here with loads of boxes. Then we've got our pens. We've got 3 tamed beefalo, 1 of each type. We got some gobblers over there because I love gobblers. And talking of gobblers, we have a berry trap with berries around it for catching gobblers and getting good food. Then we've got our army of Wilsons over here with some boxes of things to revive people with, just in case we ever had some trouble. Thankfully, we were generally pretty comfortable on this server most of the time. Then we've got our rabbits just down there, and our our salamander's just there. That is the last salamander in the world. We got him from Lunar Island. We telelocated him over. And as you can see, we got fireflies to light up the walkways whenever it's nighttime, so you don't need to have a lantern or moggles. And yeah, that's kind of the first half of the base. And then in the second half it's mostly farms, or well, I say farms, it's more they'd be more like animal farms, but they're not really farms, they're more just pens where we keep animals. Because we were thinking, what else could we add to the base? So we added in some zoos, or a zoo. So we got a few creatures lurking around. This little area here, this empty area here, is where antlion would usually spawn. So we like accommodated a little space for him in the base. There should be a throwable and a heart in this chest. Oh, there isn't a heart, I'll leave it in there for you. But there is a throwable and an HM in that chest. As you can probably hear, we have a few animals in here. I think we've got 7 co-elephants. And then we've got beefalo down there. So yeah, we've got beefalo in here. Wild beefalo rather than our tamed beefalo. We got a couple of deer in a little enclosure with evergreens so they can bash their heads on them to give us the antlers. This was a frog pen, but sadly the frogs, I don't know whether they despawned or they died, but they're not there anymore. This is our Volgo pen. And then along here we have most of our pens. Grass gecko pen, slurper pen, mole pen, carrot pen, as in carrot pen, as in let's demonstrate for those who don't know. As in carrots, as in they are rats that happen to be carrots. Then we have our cat pen here. As you can see, our co-elephant pen just there. Oh, I'm right at the end of the pathway. Although before we get to that, actually, we've got our stone fruit bushes here. Great source of stone. I just realized my tower is on 7%. That's not great. And then just down here, we have our bunnyman spider pen. As you can see, it's a good source of food and silk and things like that. Oh, and there's a spider queen. But yeah, there's that rather big pen. It's much more controlled than it used to be as well, and it is producing loads, which is awesome. Then we come back to our twiggy pen and stuff like that, or our twig farm, and back to our chests. Then we've got the pigs around here. Hopefully with, yeah, with food in the middle for them to get stuck on, so we can easily farm them. That's our little pig pen. Then up here we have the hound traps. With our houndius shootius. Behind thorn-site walls, which is more just that it looks fancy instead. And then we've got our chessboard just here, and I'm freezing up, which isn't great, but that's okay, we can bear with it. So we've got a massive chessboard here, with pieces on both sides. It is a full set. We tried to play a brief game on it, but it is pretty slow. But as I said before, you know, chess is a pretty, like, slow speed game, so you know, it gives you plenty of time to think, obviously. Oh, and of course you have our shadow pieces just here for when we want to get a shadow atrium or whatever on new moons. And I think, oh yeah, that's the last salamander and the rabbits as well. I don't know if I mentioned the last salamander or not, but we located them here from Lunar Island, like where most of the turf came from, which came from Lunar Island. We picked up most of the turf, but we also got a lot of from the crafting station as well, where you can also make the turf over there on Lunar Island. Quite a small Lunar Island as well, only 5 moon pools, and it's just not that big in general, but we made do. And I think that's pretty much our base. Obviously you've got Dragonfly and Pig King and the Swamp, and the McTusks all nearby as well. We do have a Krampusak farm up there, and we do have quite a sizable cave base with like a small ruin base as well. But yeah, the main project really has been this base up here, which has gone pretty well, and is easily, I think, the most fancy base we've ever made.